Hello, everybody. Welcome back for another 10-minute investor eye test with your friends at Arcanum Ventures. I'm here with my colleague Sasha, and today we are reviewing Lifeform. Lifeform provides a disruptive, decentralized visual digital identity solution. We like DID, Sasha. How's it going, man?
It's going well, yeah. DID's. I'm bullish on DID. Um, I think it's necessary. I think it's great. I'm a little worried about centralized DID. I'm a little worried
Hmm.
about like government mandated DIDs. Might happen. Might be like something that's pushed, regulated, and required in the future. But in the meantime, there needs to be some accountability in crypto. So I think it'll be good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the advent of like ZK, zero knowledge proof technology, it's actually feasible to have decentralized identity that's somewhat anonymous so that only the right parties can validate who you are and whatnot. But without further ado, I guess we could dive into the project and not speculate. We could just read and see what we can see. If anybody is unfamiliar with what this process looks like, we take 10 short minutes to dive into whatever information is publicly available. So we haven't looked too much into this before. And we're going to review the website, socials, team, etc., and try to figure out if we would or wouldn't look further into investing in the token. So that's the name of the game. And I guess we can start the clock as soon as you're ready, bro.
And now we start the clock. Oh, my phone turned. Meow. 10 minutes on the books. Let's do it. So here's Lifeform. It looks like they're having an IEO coming up in a few days and raising 450K across, I guess, a number of rounds. But yeah, right off the bat, Lifeform provides a disruptive, decentralized visual digital identity solution. So that's pretty cool. I haven't seen a whole lot of like visual DIDs. I'm assuming that's kind of like an avatar that you can customize on chain. But I see Binance Labs as a backer leading the round. KuCoin Labs. Interesting.
Yeah. And it looks like they're also, did it say where they're doing the IEO? Is it on Bybit or KuCoin or both? Is it a double?
It's happening on KuCoin. Let's see. I guess there's a couple of IEOs happening here. KuCoin and Bybit. Yeah. So
Oh, okay.
that's
Double.
that's pretty good. Double
And backed
IEO.
by Binance Labs, so that's pretty impressive pedigree right off the bat.
Yeah, that is impressive. And so I guess we're diving into the numbers already. Total raised nearly 5.5 million. Woo,
Hmm.
$300 million valuation. That's really high for what we've seen lately.
Yeah, we're starting to see investors push back on really overly high valuations, and 300 certainly qualifies as a high valuation, especially if it's not its own blockchain, which it doesn't appear to be. So, I'm interested to see why they valued it so high, and how you can realistically see this price doing multiples, maybe like a 200, 300% launch from public. That's almost $1 billion token valuation. So interesting.
Absolutely. And I mean, like they've run a Series A and a seed. I'm assuming that's for equity, maybe with a token warrant, some type of
Hmm.
token exposure. So the fact that they're valuing their token supply at $300 million is a little bit concerning. That's not it's not so crazy for an infrastructure project, but I guess we're going to figure out if that infrastructure is worth it. So
Yeah.
let's check out the website. And here we go. Very noisy. A lot of stuff happening here.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
I mean,
not sure.
I think these websites, they're they're kind of too chaotic. Like, obviously, whoever built it is talented, but I think a lot of times these overly flashy websites, I would prefer more substance and not just flashy visuals. You can do both within reason, but I think from a user experience perspective, it's better to have like an easy to navigate site where you can quickly get to what you want to.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to show you a lot of what's happening all at once. So 3.25 million, I guess, signed up already. There's a $1 airdrop campaign. Not a big fan of the visuals. I mean, they don't look like they're so high quality, but the first thing we saw was just them plastering some big names across the board. Um,
Did that say $1 airdrops?
yeah, $1 airdrop, which is not going to gain a lot of attention from airdrop farmers that could potentially be making hundreds to thousands of dollars from some big notable airdrops. But let's dive in a little bit deeper and see what we got.
Oh,
So 3.5 million monthly transaction volume, 700,000 plus 24-hour transfer up to 10 plus million website visits. I mean, these can be gamed, even the transaction volume with wash trading. If they
especially
are,
that.
yeah, if they're trading some sort of asset already. I don't know if there is an asset live. 30 plus business partners. That number is small enough where you can actually say the real number.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some like notable companies that they're mentioning here. Don't know like the nature of any of these partnerships, but it says ecosystem data. Maybe they're integrating their DIDs into some of these projects. What the hell's Burger Cities?
I don't know, but now I'm hungry.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Um,
Social media data. Man, this website is a
s-
bit much.
so far, it's a little bit unclear. Like aside from what we saw in CryptoRank, that it's a DID solution. They don't really explain what they're actually doing. I just see data plastered on the screen. So it looks like they're trying to say that they're an Oracle, but I'm not sure if that's the case or not. I haven't seen much on like the actual identity aspect. Have you?
No, I haven't seen a whole lot of context on what they're doing yet. But it seems like the first thing that they started to aim for is validation, showing you logos of companies, talking about partnerships, talking about traction without telling you
Yep.
what the product really is. And again, like social media data, you and I know, like you're a very, very talented marketer. A lot of this can be gamed. And so you can't really trust a lot of these things. They do have the investors here. Again, more validation. And so, like, where's the validation targeted towards? Is it buying the token? Is it using the product?
Well,
Um,
justifying that $300 million launch price, you need validation in as much of it as you can possibly get. So, getting retail to come in and buy some of those tokens is probably their biggest mission right now, even more so important than like actually getting users to adopt whatever they're building. And I'm seeing some narrative right now that there's too much VC capital right now in the space and not enough retail capital. So it's kind of an interesting project problem, especially from this project standpoint. Like maybe there's so many VCs on board, but who's going to actually buy this on the public sale market?
mm, yeah, that's a good
Not to
point.
say that it's not good, but it seems very clear that they're trying to market this to investors, and they're not really so product focused until very late or deep down on the bottom of the page. Like you're just now getting to product here.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing too. It's, if this is a DID protocol or infrastructure play, why is there a fungible token that you can invest in? And so hopefully we can figure that out. But I just do want to make a point like this UI is pretty awful. Like you have to like read this description in piecemeal because you can't like really read it with that background floating around following your cursor. But here's, I guess, some info on the product. They insist on providing the market with the highest quality products and services, building a digital citizen ecosystem, and creating a multiverse. Yeah, but how, right? So, life formers, I guess that's what they're referring to their users as. They can perform a large number of interactions such as avatar creation, facial capture, AI chatting, AI virtual human generation, etc. So yeah, like visual IDs, and they have partnerships, more validation, KOL partners. Not a big fan of.
Oh, Coco and Breezy are on board. Take my money.
And that's it. Okay, so I guess there's not a whole lot of like product description. Maybe we could find something in docs.
That is interesting.
That's a bit concerning. Like, so what's the token for? And here's a white paper, as it says, white paper. Um, and there's a disclaimer, overview, background. We already know what the project's about, so let's look at the business model. Maybe the solutions and
Do,
products first.
do we? I don't know what the project's about yet.
No, so
I'm
let's
very
figure that out
confused.
first. Okay, so I'm assuming 3D virtual human avatars as NFT based digital identities. They're
Okay.
accessible across Web3 and Web2, and they offer users a unique and engaging identity experience. So, creating a
Ah,
virtual version of yourself. We've seen projects like that, especially with that project that was called Virtual Versions, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was literally called virtual version. So
And
yeah,
so
there's a
yeah,
lot of these floating around, but I guess there's like an arms race, and I think I saw somewhere that it said you can have the suffix .btc, which is pretty cool. I know .eth is really popular, so BTC is probably like the end all be all of original names or domains that you can own and send money to, I imagine.
absolutely. But I would hope like connect to other apps and dApps. So I would hope that is a capability if you're creating DIDs. Some
Yeah.
form of security, Decentralized Shield, Life Mesh API for easy integration into like other ecosystems. Lifeform space, so it sounds like maybe like a marketplace or a central hub. You can look at transaction records, etc. All good things. Branding, maybe they can help you create a sort of brand or a company behind your own DID. But more importantly, like what the hell's the token for?
I hate to say it too, but if you scroll up, I know from experience, but a lot of these look like they're generated by ChatGPT because I know ChatGPT loves slamming together two words and making one word out of it, like ease link. So
Easily.
maybe not 100% sure that that's true, but that's what my gut says there.
Well, I guess we've got some info on the token. So fully support by Lifeform DID solution, staking to issue the EUP, which I think was mentioned above. Um,
Is that two tokens too?
oh man, that was a quick 10 minutes.
Yeah, it
But
was.
we got to figure this out. Like, so
Is that two
let's.
different tokens though? A U and a G, or is what is the deal with
Uh,
that?
I don't know, but maybe one is like an on chain or off chain point
Oh,
system. Other one's the
yeah,
token
ecosystem
utility point.
utility point TGE by staking LFT to generate. That seems overly convoluted.
Yeah. So and I guess we should take 1 minute extra and cheat a little bit just to dive into this because we just found it. So the actual token can be used to mint the avatar. So the basically the company is accepting their own token for revenue and creating an
Hmm.
ID.
Yep.
Unlock limited accessories and then staking rewards. Maybe you stake the token to unlock access to certain accessories for your avatar, like some nice Nikes. Entrance for IP brands. So maybe that's also an access model to like create a brand behind your avatar. And then
Hmm.
stake to issue EUPs. And again, I think EUPs are somewhere up here. Where's there? I don't see EUP anywhere.
Oops.
EUPs. Okay, so we don't know what EUPs are, but
Oh, I think it's the right here ecosystem utility point. So it's like
oh
the
yeah,
off
yeah.
chain or redeemable.
So yeah, like an access model, but it seems like the entire ecosystem is catered specifically around token spending and token staking, and that's a little bit concerning as a startup company that's, let's say, raising that much money and creating a valuation. We don't see any fiat or stablecoin revenue models here. And so for the company to create money to like pay developers or marketers, etc., they're going to need to sell their token supply. And so that's going to ultimately devalue, pre-sale investors' equity. And so just something to keep in mind. And we're going to dive into verdicts now. I think we took another minute or two extra, but before we do, if you guys like this content, make sure you tap that like button and maybe throw us a follow. We got some more content coming out real soon, some more eye tests, some more interviews. Boom Room's happening. It's back and strong as ever. And also, if you disagree with our take on this, make sure you leave a comment below and let us know. We like comments, we like controversy, we like trying to be proven wrong. Obviously, there's a lot to learn here, and 10 minutes is not nearly enough to do a full analysis of a project, but that's what we're here for. So, anyways, Carmelo, what's your take on this one, man?
Huh. I think you could probably imagine what it is. I just want to preface this by saying that the only thing keeping me interested in this is trying to understand why these major backers are on board, like Binance Labs. They got strong pedigree, like we mentioned before. It seems like they have no issue raising money. So I want to see what they see. But based off what I've seen in 10 minutes, I'm not interested at all. Uh, Not a knock against them. It could be an issue with marketing, like we've seen before. Like they might have amazing technology. They just haven't done a good enough job to convince me as a potential investor that this token will retain or accrue value. I think it's pretty damning that the website doesn't really share anything about the token or the product, and it's all about flashiness. It's it's like if Dubai were a project. So I see they thought it was important to mention these no-name KOLs that I mean, not that they're not influential, but I've never heard of any of those people. I don't know if they're crypto influencers, if they're singers or actors. I have no idea who they are, but they did not mention who the team is. So that is already very interesting choice, especially for an identity focused project. So there's nothing about the team. They have like a really strange token economy that I haven't really understood how it works or why they thought it was necessary to create such a convoluted system. So, and let's not forget about the $300 million valuation. So, if you add together all these pieces, it's pretty much a hard no for me. I would look further into it just to see, like I said, what these backers are seeing that I'm not seeing, just out of curiosity. But no, I think when you weigh this against WorldCoin and all these other identity solutions, I don't think they're really standing apart from the pack.
Oof, man. Is that one thumb down or two thumbs down?
It's just one thumb down. Like I said, I still look into it, but I think I'm pretty. There's so much launching right now. It's important to. It's not necessarily that a project's not good. There's so many things launching that are amazing, and that's a testament to how much the space has grown. So I'm happy that there's more promising stuff out there in my eyes. But other investors like Finance Labs disagrees, obviously.
Hmm. Yeah, it's an interesting take. I think I agree with a lot of what you said. So, straight up, my verdict I think is the same. One thumb down. I would not be interested in investing in this as it stands. Based on the 10 minutes that we took, I think I saw a number of red flags, similar ones that you saw, but maybe in a couple of different areas. I don't like the idea that their entire marketing around their content was validation. It's almost like they got a couple of notable financial backers on board and then immediately started to create a hype train to raise more funds and talk about the backers. And so it's kind of like creating this like self-fulfilling cycle of just raising more and more funds. $300 million
Mhm.
valuation for the token supply does not make sense to me, especially considering they sold equity through through a seed and Series A. And if you think about the importance of tokenomics, it's not about the pie chart or the vesting schedule. It's what you're buying as an investor. And technically what they outlined can be value accruing if, everything is paid for in the token. The token is staked to access certain things. But the fact that the company is completely foregoing fiat or stablecoin revenue in what they've communicated to investors means that their only avenue of spending money for operations development, etc., is in selling their own token in the market. So they
Yep.
have value coming in, but then they're going to have value going out, and we don't know how much. We know for sure there will be value going out from them, but it might be a lot, and it might devalue a token investment, especially against a massive $300 million supply. And so, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of what I've seen. I think there are other DID plays that are more serious, that seem to have more traction, more measurable traction than gamified or maybe inorganic metrics that they had shown on the website. And I think that there's some branding and marketing from other players that seem more serious. This seems a little bit cartoonish to me. It seems again like shock and awe and flash. And again, I'm not really sure what Binance or some of these other players see in it. Maybe they plan on integrating this in their platform, but we
Mm.
also know that a lot of these players are working with multiple DID infrastructure projects, so there's no guarantees. So from my end,
Yep.
also one down. Interesting one regardless. So best of luck to the Lifeform team for launching this token. I hope it works out for you, but we'll see what happens. And with that being said, that's 10 minutes in the books from your friends at Arcanum Ventures. Again, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you tap that like button again. Stick around. We got more stuff coming out. And until then, stay safe out there. Do your diligence, and then follow up. Thanks again, y'all. Take care. Ciao.